Hey guys, it's Carrie. Happy end of July. I can't even believe it. Coming out of Elite Academy, heading into August. I want to get right to it because tonight we've got Lori Charette, Pro 7, that is going to be sharing some really great information with us. Lori and I were talking earlier, and I think a lot of times people get stuck, right? And sometimes people that you wouldn't even necessarily assume are stuck. And I think, that's okay to realize, right? That happens whether it's to you or your team, but it's all in what you do about it. And so Laura and I were talking, and she's been having just some really great conversations, great suggestions, great working with all kinds of cross-line people throughout the whole company. And so I just would love for you, Lori, to kind of share what all you've been working with people and what success you're having. And if you guys are, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody else. And you can just take it away, Lori. Thank you for joining us on the Zoom.
Hello. And I was thinking there was going to be a little bit more people on there because there's a few that have reached out ever since Miss Eileen, sweet Eileen. When you called me out for helping with the push plan, of course, my phone's been blowing up ever since. So, and what that's done is, it's created a lot of one-on-one training on helping people get to the next level. Now, these are people that are looking to do what Eileen was doing. They're like tired of being where they were. They are in a position where they literally can make a decision and get to the next level. And if you're serious about doing that, then there is a lot of information that will help you do that. I had this push plan that she's talking about, the push plan with mapping out. I call it mapping out. That actually got me to 5, 6, and 7. This is not how you build your business month to month, mind you. This is when you literally are doing a push and how you make it happen. And when I did it, even Carrie can tell you, even for 7, Carrie and Maria called me the day before and said, look, if it's not, if it doesn't happen this month, you can do it next month, but they didn't know what I knew. They didn't see what I had on my map and what I knew what was coming in, right?
It was like a coach of a Super Bowl game, right? Play by play, like planned out, and this for this and this, and it was I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Very strategic, and intentional. Sorry.
Yes. And so people have been reaching out and doing this push plan and the mapping out, because it actually is 2 different things. It literally is about 3.5 hours when I'm literally going into their back office and we are working their business. And Eileen, later on, if you want to share some of that sounded like and looked like and was beneficial for you, that would be awesome. But because I know that it's changed how she's going to be building the future of her business, which is really good. But so 3.5 hours, you guys, like, right? And so I've done so many of them back to back since Eileen had gone to 5. And the Patty Polka, I don't know if you know Pro 8, Greg and Patty Polka, they asked me to do a workshop for them. And I haven't done this before, and so I had to create a workshop on the push plan, and it's a little bit different because I can't share my back office, right? And each person's is individual, but I did put something together, and we did that on Saturday, and it was phenomenal. But what I've learned by talking to everybody is we all know that this is a mindset business, and we hear it and we hear it and we hear it and we hear it. The only thing is it's like we're going, okay, and we're not connecting to it. We're not attached to that. We don't know what that looks like, what that sounds like. And so what I'm finding is sharing what it looks like and what it sounds like is actually connecting with people, and it's changing the course of the direction that they're going in their business. And then it actually went one step further, where I thought the verbiage was, and it is, beneficial for our customers, distributors, and our prospects. It actually is a personal mind shift for ourselves, because what we do know is that, holy cow, the majority of our issues is our own perception, sadly enough. And we're projecting that out always. And so if we can change that mindset and know what it looks like and what it sounds like, I'm telling you, there's so much power in it, so much power in it. So it was 3.5 hours. I'm taking a snippet of it, you guys, and I'm just going to talk about the verbiage part of it. And if we want to go into some of the other on another night and do those in increments, then we can certainly do that. And if this happens to run over, you're welcome to check out when you're ready to check out. And if anybody wants to hang out, if we do go over, I'm going to try to stay faithful here, but I'm not very good at that. So ask Jess. No. So I'm getting better, Jess. So I'm going to share my computer screen, and then I'm going to talk this out. And I certainly can share this document as well, you guys, afterwards. And so y'all can see my screen. Okay. Yep. Okay. Far out. So I don't presume that any of y'all don't get this. So what I'm going to say is that maybe it might tweak, doing some simple tweaks might be beneficial for you, but it's certainly going to be beneficial for you to teach and train your team. Okay. So what I want to start out with is I want to change the mindset of what we have within LifeVantage in the network marketing industry. It sounds weird, but collectively, when we change and tweak these itty bitty little things, collectively, they make a huge difference. And what I've figured out and what I've heard from everybody else, it's the difference in you. It's crazy. So, one thing that I love about LifeVantage is that LifeVantage made a deliberate decision to be different. If you are sharing the company story, when they said this needs to be mouth-to-mouth distribution, the company said that sounds like network marketing, and there's no way that we don't want that stigma attached to our product and our company. And they were challenged, right? They were challenged by David Brown going out and taking that ABC investigative report with a few of his buddies, sharing the details afterwards, and then they outsold by 300% in 6 months, right? So the company said, okay, we're going to go into the network marketing model, but we are going to consciously change everything within the network marketing model, and we're not going to resemble anything else that's out there. So do you guys believe that we're different, right? Do you understand that we're different? Because that's a gift that we have. And we hear that when we're hearing the Tara Wilson and Rachel and Taylor Worry, when we see these people coming on, we know we have something different. And so my thing is if the biggest hang up for people is network marketing, I'm going to hesitate on that for a second, because a lot of times it's your own personal hang up. It's still your own hang up. Even though you're here and you're dedicated and you're committed, it's still your hang up when it comes to talking about it to other people, right? And so let's talk that out a little bit. The one thing that people say is, a lot of people feel is it's network marketing. So what I want you to do is be comfortable with that. If we can assume, and we need to assume, that everybody is going to think that, everyone is going to put us in that category. Why? Because there's not another one of us out there. Why wouldn't they? We're new and we're different. So they're going to think this over here because that's the majority. So if we can assume that that's what they're thinking, then we're going to be ready for that, right? We're going to be grounded, and nothing's going to rock our boat. So the one thing that I have on there is, like, if somebody says, yeah, if it's network marketing, forget it. You have to just acknowledge them and say, you know what? Totally get it. Matter of fact, LifeVantage said the same thing. They said, no way. We don't want that stigma attached to our product and our company. And what I love about that story is that they realized that this had to be educated, and it needed to go into the network marketing model. And because of that, they've changed everything within this network marketing model, and it doesn't resemble anything else out there. I encourage you to take a look. You're done. It's done. Now you've got their attention. You can get that gone, right? So if you can just acknowledge what they're saying and agree with it and agree with them and just share with them, gosh, that's what this company said. I mean, you can even go so far as to say, gosh, we have 1,200 doctors that are partnered up with this company. They said the same thing, right? They felt the same way, but they did their due diligence and they went and followed the science, and then they realized that this was different. Do you see how you've got some ammo there to talk to them? So one of the things, you guys, my team knows about this kind of stuff. It sounds weird and silly, but hear me out for a second. I kind of hate the V word, and the V word is the video. And I'll share with you why. And I literally had a personal experience with this. All through my life, I've had numerous people come up to me and hand me a CD and tell me, when you get in your car, pop that in your car. When you get home, pop this in your computer. And I never, ever broke the seal on one of them because I knew that they created it. I knew it was going to smell, taste, and feel exactly like they wanted it to. I knew I was going to get excited about it, right? But I didn't know how to read between the lines. So I never opened one of them. Isn't that kind of crazy? So when I was shared an ABC investigative report, this third-party validation, it literally blew my mind. And we have to understand nobody has that tool. I mean, we know it, but we're not connecting to it. And we have to elevate it, and we've got to give it the validation it deserves. Every time you say it and you teach your team, ABC investigative report. I've got something I'm so excited about, and I cannot wait to share this information with you. What is it? I want to share an ABC investigative report with you. They literally perk up. When you say video, they literally are putting us in the category of everything else because everyone else has a video. If we're trying to get that shift for them, then I feel we can do some simple little things that make us look different, sound different, right? So they're going to look at us differently. So that's my thing. It may not be your thing, but to me, like I said, collectively, it does make a difference. And we do need to elevate it, right? So ABC report, ABC investigative report, no more V word. It literally is a pet peeve for me. The other thing is this sounds kind of silly, but joined. If we say joined, I don't say I joined LifeVantage in December. So-and-so joined. When you're ready to get join the company, again, we sound like everything else out there. And for me, I've had multiple businesses, and I want to carry this as a business. And so I say I partnered up with LifeVantage back in December of 2012. Did you hear that Aaron Brockovich just partnered up with our board of directors? Doesn't that sound more professional? And doesn't it sound more like a business? And does that help your own personal mindset to be viewing this as a business, right? Because I've never done network marketing before, but I've had multiple businesses. And back in December 2012, when this was introduced to me, I had no idea what network marketing was about. And for me, I never thought I was joining a network marketing business. I literally was starting a new business, just like all my other businesses. And I've been building my business like a business ever since then. I remember going to Pro 5 Summit and somebody sitting me down and saying, yeah, but what do you do when you feel like quitting? I've never felt like quitting, you guys. And sorry, my cat. And the other thing is with that is we've got to get that word out. Don't talk that word or say it with your team, because the bottom line is there's no quitting. There's no quitting with LifeVantage. If we have our $40 product purchase every month, there's no quitting, right? We might be hibernating for a little while. We might be this or that, but if we can plant those seeds to people, the cool thing about this is you never lose your business. There's no such thing as quitting. As long as you've got your $40 product, you're in business. And so if you get sidetracked for some reason, and then you've got your neighbor who is reaching out for, sharing some information with you, and you get to tell them about it, and you get to get credit for it. We're never quitting. So we've got to get that word out of there too, because we hear that a lot. And we're keeping ourselves there. It's just like when you go to convention, you guys, and if you're talking to somebody for the first time, I usually ask them, how long have you been partnered with LifeVantage? And then I ask them what level they're on. And they always do this. I don't care who it is. Well, I was, but this happened, and I stop them in their tracks and say, okay, from this point forward, you're never going to say that again. You're going to say, I am a Pro 2 and I'm so excited to get to Pro 3. I'm a Pro 4, because every time you do that, you keep yourself there. You literally keep yourself there. So teach other people to do that as well. No more talking about where you were staying in the past, right? So I say I partnered up with LifeVantage. It just sounds more professional. So then when we're talking about, are you, this one's a good one. Are you ready to get signed up? Let's get you signed up. I'm telling you, every time we say that, they're thinking they're doing us a favor. Even if it's subconscious, you guys, and it's usually a financial favor. That's what they're hearing, just like all those other things, right? Because they're still putting us in that category. And so if we can simply say, when are you ready to get set up? How can I help you get set up? Now I'm doing you a favor. Not only that, it's kind of doing a shift of their responsibility in the business. So like I said, it's simple little tiny things, but it's helping on both ends. That's what I've just recently learned. They're like, it's helping themselves have a business mindset, not to mention what it's helping people who have a hang up with network marketing. Is helping doing a mind shift for them and keeping them. I kind of try to keep people in a forward motion, in a positive forward motion, going this way and not going that way. So this one's a good one, you guys. I don't like the may or may not be for you, and you hear it all the time. And I understand where people are going with this. And the may or may not be for you, in my opinion, once we say that, we planted that seed. In my opinion, subconsciously, the minute they hear you say it may or may not be for you, they go, it's not for me. I mean, because I just told them, right? And so I just kind of tweak it a little bit. You know what? I just learned about something that I'm really excited about. I think you're going to be excited about it too. But if not, you're definitely going to know somebody who can benefit from this information. It's all positive forward statements, right? And we're making them think forward. We're already asking for the referral. They're going to kind of get a little bit protective and say, gosh, in their mind, subconsciously, there's somebody that's going to be excited. It's going to be mine, not yours, right? They're kind of taking possession of that, right? But it helps the person who's asking, who's inviting, not to be attached to that person if you're already asking for the referral. But I think it's imperative to say it might not be for you. I mean, I'm sorry. I think you're going to be excited about it. I'm keeping them pumped up, right? I think you are. But if not, and then you're definitely going to know somebody who can benefit. That's huge because that's 1000% truth, right? So that's my go-to invite right there for the most part. I might tweak it a little bit here and there. The other thing that we're hearing is people saying, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to push them. I'm afraid to be pushy. I'm worried about this. And that's probably a huge one where people have a hard time on their follow-ups with people right there. And so this is kind of a fun one, you guys. You just call yourself out. You just say to them, you know what? Look, I'm going to be pushy on this. I'm going to keep coming to you and making sure you get this information because it's just too important. So let's just go ahead and set up an appointment for Tuesday so we can get it taken care of. At the very least, you're going to know the information so you know you've got somebody to refer people to by hearing the information. But if you just call yourself out, and you can play with it, and you can just say, okay, remember I said I'm going to push you. I'm sorry, I don't want later for you to come back and say, why didn't you tell me? So let's get this done. Isn't that a lot better than worrying about being pushy? It's a lot better. So, and then we did already talk about it's network marketing. People say, no, if it's network marketing, I don't want to talk to you. So we already talked about that at the beginning. Where are we on time? Woo-woo! And I'm going to kind of open it up real quick here, you guys. You guys go ahead and open up. That's just some little verbiage changes that I'm noticing that people are going, oh my gosh, it's just helping themselves to get past a few things so they can feel a little bit more comfortable and confident with talking. And Eileen, you kind of got some of this and implemented some of this. Do you want to share anything?
Yeah, thank you, Lori. I hate to have my picture up there because I haven't even showered today because I've been working all day, but I'm totally excited. And this gave me the posture I needed to be able to move forward. And it was those little phrases and things that I needed personally to have that confidence. And you gave me the idea of saying Aaron Brockovich. And I was able to use that to open up new conversations or reignite old conversations I had had. So those are really important. I actually would like to add one more with your list if I could.
Sure.
So all the time we say, don't forget, we're going to meet tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Well, you're programming people to not forget, or to forget. But if you said, remember, tomorrow we're going to connect tomorrow at 2:00, it's just a different mindset, and it's a positive one. And because how many times do you go, oh, you even told me not to forget. I can't believe it.
Right.
Yeah, but you say, remember, we're going to talk tomorrow at 2:00.
Yeah, so literally don't ask the question, are we still good for tomorrow? I never ask a question where they can give me a no answer. So the question would be, the text would be, I am so excited for our appointment tomorrow at 7:30. I cannot wait for you to hear this information. Done.
Right.
You know, if
so,
they can't make it, then they're going to tell you.
So I totally appreciate that. And it's empowered me to take charge of my business.
Sweet.
So I appreciate it.
Sweet. Do you have anything to add with that, Carrie?
Yeah, I love when you're talking about the mindset, right? And looking at it as a business. And I think that, sometimes we do get a lot of feedback, right? That people, skepticism or whatever with it. But I also think, two different people I just talked to in the last couple days. The first one, we start talking and she says, is this network marketing? And I said, absolutely. And she was fired up. She's made a couple thousand a month at a different company. I just talked to someone else that does body work. They're a nutritionist. They've been in the fitness industry, teaching for literally decades. He wasn't familiar with network marketing. Mm-hmm. And so I think that so many times, like, we are in our own head, and then that's leading that, where I didn't feel that way at all. So I was talking to him and I said, are you familiar with network marketing? And he was like, no, what is it? Right. And so just don't assume, so it's like, get that posture, and whether it's the tweaks, like Lori is sharing with on different verbiage and teaching your team different things, but you've got to have that posture on what we have, that it is so, so special. And like I said to him, I go, well, how and I'd already asked him this before we started talking. I'm like, well, where do you get all your clients? He's like, yeah, referrals, right? I said, absolutely, right? So I'd already asked those different questions before we even talked about what I did. So
that's like also with people, this is another class or another course or whatever, but in regards to people that are not on their subscription order, never, ever, ever, ever assume that they quit. Never talk to them as if, and so that's the other thing, is I've got a list of the 5 things that you share every time you pick up the phone and you talk with them. And we did this, Eileen, right? Every person, customer or distributor that you followed up on that didn't have their subscription order set up, or they haven't ordered in anywhere from 2 months to a year or 2 years. Like, I literally showed her how to have the conversation with each one of those people to get them excited. And so that's another one. But you don't call them up and say, gosh, it looks like you quit your order or you stopped your order. I literally say, hey, I was going through my back office and there was a handful of people I wanted to reach out to, and you were one of them. I noticed that your order, it looks like that your order didn't get out last month, maybe even the month before. And I want to make sure that you're set up properly. So if it's a customer, I want to make sure you're set up properly. The cool thing about this business is the company has extended the price that we pay to our customers. So I want to make sure that you're set up to get those discounts. I don't say auto ship and subscription orders, because those are still some icky words for people, right? I just sound like I'm trying to do them a favor and save them some money. So I want to make sure that you're set up properly. If it's a distributor that doesn't have their subscription order set up, and a lot of times it's right out of the gate and they don't even realize that they don't, I want to call them and say, hey, listen, I was going through my back office and there's a handful of people I wanted to reach out to, and you were one of them. The cool thing about LifeVantage is the only requirement to keep our business doors open is that $40 a month purchase. Hopefully that's your NRF2, your NRF2, but I want to make sure that you've got your business doors open so that when you're ready to talk or share with friends, family, and neighbors, I don't say people, I say friends, family, and neighbors, because I want to put that trigger in their head. And then you're prepared, then you're set up, and we want to make sure that you don't lose your business. So it just sounds like we're doing them a favor. We're helping them out, right?
Yeah, and one other thing, one thing that Carrie keeps reminding me, we don't say upline or crossline, we say our business partners.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it makes it much more professional instead of a hierarchy into our company. These are my business partners. Let me introduce you to them.
Definitely. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That matters. I was actually talking to someone that said, "Oh, I'm so excited, like, that we get to sit here and talk." And I said, "Hello, you got me in your phone, like reach out, text me, whatever." And I said, "Why, if you've been dying to talk, why haven't you?" And he said, I felt like there was a hierarchy and I had to go through those steps first. So it's funny what little tweaks in verbiage can really make a difference to people.
So the two things that I would love to get you guys to concentrate on, like before you go to bed tonight, is that how many of you guys, I don't know if y'all can raise your hand or whatever, have been partnered up with LifeVantage over 3 years? 3 years. Yeah, most of us. Okay, so we've been hearing and knowing and just kind of bebopping along with this whole momentum thing, right? And the thing is I don't know if you guys are aware and if you're seeing everything, but my goodness, everything is poised in place and ready to go. We have seen more in this company in 10 years than what most companies might see in their lifetime, right? And I don't know what that thing is that's going to trigger it and put it over the edge. I have no idea. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. But if we're going to ride the wave, we have to paddle ahead of time. We got to paddle ahead of time to get up to the top to ride it through. Now, we got to hurry up and do that for ourselves so we can do that and help our team get there, which means we got to hustle, right? Because literally, I mean, gosh, the Russell 3000, you guys, Blackstone, NIA, Forbes, right? Aaron Brockovich. I mean, what more do we need? 27 peer-reviewed studies. What more do we need? I don't know what triggers it, but you need to have something in your gut right now that's going, I flipping need to hustle. And so people who are afraid to talk about the business, this is what you can do. You're going to be honest. You need to have the fire in your gut and you go out to them and you say, oh my gosh, I have been partnered up with this company and I've known all along that it was going to go into momentum. I just got back from our 10-year celebration and we are ready to blow. And I am so passionate about making sure that I get out there because I've been lagging, whatever you want to say. I want to get out there and tell as many people as I can because I'm already having regrets for the people I'm going to miss. So I want to know, who do you know that would want to take advantage of this? Ask them, who do they know? They may be jumping up and down saying it's me, right? But you can just come right out with the business. I mean, you have to, because that's literally where we are. And when it comes to the product, if we're having apprehension about just doing that invite and all that, I know we're not being recorded and y'all hear me out on this, and I need to come up with a code word for this, but listen, just out of curiosity, if you had the cure for something with the C word, if you had the cure for that, just out of curiosity, who would you tell? We would be running up and down the street, screaming at the top of our lungs, telling everyone, right? We literally would. Would you stop to think for a second and go, you know what? I don't know. Am I going to share this with Debbie? I don't know. Am I going to tell Sherry about this? We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't think, you guys. So I know we don't have the cure for that, but we do have the next best thing that is that important. That is the core of what you've got to have in front of you, inside of you, every time you want to get in front of somebody and talk. Because you wouldn't hesitate if you knew the other. And you shouldn't hesitate with what we have. So there's so much power in that. And so you don't have to worry about, I don't have self-confidence, because my question to you is, do you have confidence in the product? Heck yeah, right? Do you have confidence in the science? Absolutely. What about the company? You've got all the confidence and all the armor you need. I don't have, they say a chicken list, and it sounds funny. It doesn't mean that I don't get nervous, but I'm not afraid to talk to anybody because I know the power of the information. It's not my information, but I know how important and the power in the information. And that's what we have to rest on and not worry about all this other stuff. Because when it comes down to it, this is the challenge. When it comes down to it, we all have our hiccups and our hangups. We've had them all our life, right? And it's kind of weird. We know that we've got this growth thing that we got to go through, and we're going to go through it. We're going to be forced to go through it. But it's interesting that we have these hiccups sometimes where it's holding us, it's paralyzing us. But wait a second. How come we know how to get through it when it comes to our family, or get through it when it comes to our job? We're functioning fine with it over here. We've learned how to function with it everywhere else. Why are we not doing it here? So I call you out, right? We're calling us out on that. It's kind of crazy. But that's what we have to start relooking. And so tonight, when we go home, when we go to bed, it's close your eyes for a second and just think for a moment that momentum has already come. That it's happening, it's kicked in, and what are you going to be feeling in your gut? Because it's that close. My goal was to get to the elite ranks before we hit momentum. That was it, because I knew it was coming. And it's like, okay, so when your business starts to double, or your team, where do you want it? Where do you want to be? You want to double at Pro 2? Heck no, right? Where do you want to double at Pro 7, 8, 9, right? Where do you want to double? Or triple, or whatever it's going to do. But we want to get, and it just gets it gets way past us. It's taking our team with us, right? We want our friends, our family, gosh, all of our people to take advantage of this. So go ahead.
No, yeah, we want all of you guys. That's all.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, you have to get there to get your peeps there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, I feel, I don't know if you guys can feel that excitement. Lori and I were talking earlier. It's go time. I was meeting with a few distributors last night. Some have been in like a year and a half, some 4 or 5 years. And then one was brand new. And they really wanted me to spend time with this new person and new to the industry, just going through stuff. Right. And let me tell you guys, like, I got so worked up, like in a good way. I was so cranked up. It was 3 a.m. before my brain could even like remotely try to calm down. And even as we're sitting there talking last night, then these other distributors are like, wow, like it sure is nice that Carrie gets a little bit passionate about this, right? I mean, I'm just so fired up. And so I think that sometimes though, for us that, like you said, a lot of us have been in for a number of years, sometimes I think we forget how good we have it, right? And so go back to that burning why, whatever spot you're at, whether you're where you want to be, whether you're not remotely where you want to be, but go back to that burning why and really figure it out. And then if you are feeling stuck, reach out. And I got to thank Lori. Lori has worked tirelessly with people of all different cross lines. And I'm just so grateful for your servant heart, Lori, and just your willingness to help everyone. But if you or someone on your team is out there struggling, reach out. We are here to help. We don't want people to be struggling alone. So please, please, please don't hesitate.
Here's a great way to get yourself fired up is go look in your back office. Like even go on your homepage, there's reports over on the right-hand side where it says not on subscription. That's an ugly report, you guys, because you're going to be seeing so many people from back when, right? But this is how you have a conversation with the people who were excited at the beginning, right? And they're doing nothing. They've fallen off. You literally can pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I wanted to reach out to you. You can even say, I was going through my business and there was a handful of people I wanted to reach out to, and you were one of them. I know that you were really excited and you saw something back in, look it up. So you have that conversation with them back in November, a few years ago. And I really want to bring you up to date on what's happened since then, because I know that you wanted to be a part of something. And we literally are on the cusp of momentum. And I would love to be able to kick you back in so you can take advantage of this. I mean, does it bother you to do that?
What do you have to lose, right? And sometimes it was a timing, who knows what, right? Why someone, put a pause, who knows? But if you don't ask, right, what's the alternative? So I think that's absolutely great. And the same thing with prospects. I know Mary's been reaching out to people that she's talked to in the past, and we're just setting up appointments, setting up conversations, right? And seeing where are they at now, like, and take a serious look at this now. Here's what we've got going on, and here's why we thought of them. Just keep it going, guys.
Let me click. I'm going to click on this real quick. I'll send you guys this, but let me show you because it's what Carrie was just talking about. Whenever you pick up the phone, and whenever we pick up the phone and we talk to, whether it's customers, distributors, or prospects, follow-ups, right? There are 5 things that we want to have in that conversation every time we talk to somebody. And this is kind of what it would look like, sound like. It would be, hey, Debbie, I noticed it. I was going through my back office and there was a handful of people I wanted to reach out to. You're one of them. It looks like your order got stuck last month, and I want to make sure that, if I can help you to get that activated or set up, if I can help you get that set up, and or take care of that. And then while you have them on the phone, it's just like, you have whenever you pick up the phone, before you pick up the phone and call people, you click on their name, click on their order status, and then click on an order and open the order up. Because once you open up the order and see what they're doing, there's so much information. You learn so much about them by what they're ordering, how sporadic it is, what they're getting, what they aren't getting. It's really interesting. So do that on all of them. So then you can say, if they've never ordered Axio, I just wanted to check in on you and see, are you familiar with the Axio? Let me tell you what just happened, what just came out, or, what I just learned about Axio. Just kind of you're just talking with them and say, and I don't know if you're, I think everybody should have a customer, product user, prospect, private group, private Facebook educational group, right? And everybody should be in there. Everybody that you've talked to should be in there, because that's massive third-party validation. So I want to say, I want to make sure, are you in ours is Nerve 2 activated? I want to make sure, are you in our Nerve 2 activated group? I want to make sure that you're in there, because there's just so much information. You can go into the search bar and you can type in diabetes, fibromyalgia, autism, athletes, and I say it because I want that to trigger things. They may go, ooh, I need to go look, because something may trigger something, right? So I say it. And then say, so I want to make sure that you're in that group. And I'm so excited because we just got back from our 10-year celebration. And do you remember Erin Brockovich, the environmental activist? She's like literally partnered up with our company, and I just got to meet her. It was so stinking cool. And we're getting ready to go to convention, and they're going to have another product launch. I would love for you to go, right? I mean, see how I'm just having a conversation? And in the meantime, is there anybody, that you have, friends, family, or neighbors that you want, since we know that everybody deserves to hear about this, is there any friends, family, or neighbors that I can help share this information with you? These 5 things you want to say every time you're on the phone with them. You want to say something about every one of them. And if you've got somebody who's not working, or they're tied up and they're thinking, I'm busy, I'm like, I can't do anything right now, then this is what I share with them. Well, because we know that everybody deserves to hear about this, and as you're going about your day-to-day activities and you're caught up with what you're going through, the cool thing is that people who know you, and they know what you're caught up in right now. So if you can simply say, hey, based on what you just said, I think I've got some information that can help you out with that, but right now I can't get away. What I'd love to do is connect you with my friend Carrie, and so she can share the details with you. Is it okay if I add you to a third-party text so I can introduce you to her and she can reach out and find out what's a good time? If you can teach them, you're putting their antennas up, so they're at least going, oh, well, I can do that. They're just going to think, okay, that's simple, that's easy, I can do that. But if we can get them thinking that, get their antennas up, and then teach them how to do this 3-way text, they literally can have a copy and paste and make it easy. And you know what? If I share this with them, if we share this with them and they want to get started on the products, or they want to maybe even partner up with the company, that's 1,000% underneath your business. Like, that's what I say to them. So even though you get somebody that comes on board and says, I'm coming on board, but I'm not ready to get started yet. The reason why they're saying that is because they have a pretense of an expectation of what that requirement is. They don't understand, and they're thinking it's far greater than what it is. So if we can break it down in simple terms and at least get them started doing something, right? Even if it's just referring you guys, because I don't know about you, but I will take referrals all day long.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah. So it's just, and the more conversations we're having, the better, right? So just keep doing that. Don't be afraid. I just met with someone else, or I literally met them, and they said, oh, I was taking that years ago. I don't even know why I stopped taking it, and I said, well, a lot has happened, since whatever, hers had been like 8 years. So don't be afraid of having those conversations. We were just talking with Marilyn Mosier and 2 different distributors. She's enrolled, people that she's talked to years and years and years ago. So, I think, bottom line, how many people can we put this information in front of, right? Whether they're past distributors, customers, prospects. Thank you, Lori, for giving us like specific verbiage, because didn't you guys all just feel like the way she said it was natural, again, with the intent to help others, but, had specific things in mind. And I love, be educated, exactly like you said, click on that, see what their order is, know exactly where they're at, and then boom, have that conversation and know, where you're going with it, and then ask those questions and listen and see where it goes. A lot can change in people's lives. So that's it. I don't want to keep people any longer. I want to say thank you, Lori, for sharing all that information. Thank you guys for jumping on. The last couple days of the month, finish really strong. Get registered for Cancun if you want to do it by payments by the end of the month. They've actually extended Long Beach out through the end of August, not July. Oh. Because they wanted people that if they're trying to push for Cancun, that they could go ahead and commit to that and have a little bit longer on the time frame to get registered for Long Beach, just so people weren't being hit with all that at once. So just so you know, that it is coming, the information. So the end of August for the early bird. So we're grateful for the company for listening, and thank you guys so much for jumping on, and we're here for you. Okay, so reach out. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.